China has again said it will, quote, reunite Taiwan with the mainland as tensions ramp up further between Beijing and the self-governing island. Chinese President Xi Jinping told a Communist Party gathering that such a move would happen peacefully and said China could never tolerate any form of separatism. Taiwan has responded by saying it's a sovereign nation and that its people will decide their future. Taipei has been bristling over China's recent military incursions. From Taipei, I'm joined by DW correspondent Joyce Lee. Joyce, Chinese President Xi Jinping saying that reunification should be by peaceful means, but what is he signalling with that language? Is it in fact a kind of threat?
Well, yes, it is a remark made just before the National Day of Taiwan. But it's worth noting that Mr. Xi used a softer tone compared to the speech he gave in July, in which he vowed to smash any attempts of a formal Taiwan independence. And 2 years ago, he directly threatened to take Taiwan by force. Nonetheless, Xi Jinping said in the latest speech that the reunification will happen and can happen. So the speech is poorly received by Taiwan. The presidential office said that the future of Taiwan lay in the hands of Taiwanese people.
So a softening of the rhetoric there, perhaps, but tensions have been escalating, rather. How are people there on the street reacting to this escalation?
Well, this is not the first time Beijing has said something like that, and people in Taiwan are very used to the threats and harassment from Beijing. It's worth noting that Xi Jinping said that he wants to see a peaceful reunification occur under the one country, two systems framework, which was also employed in Hong Kong. And Taiwanese people have been witnessing what's been happening in Hong Kong for the past few years, the suppression of political freedom and freedom of speech. So according to a latest opinion poll, nearly 90% of Taiwanese people reject the one country, two system framework. It is a policy that is no longer convincing to the Taiwanese people.
Why is Taiwan so important for China? Why is this reunification threats coming now?
Well, the Chinese Communist Party has never ruled Taiwan, but China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province. So former colonies like Hong Kong and Macau were handed back to China in the 90s. And it's just, Beijing sees Taiwan as, the next province that has to be handed back to the motherland. So if Xi Jinping succeeds in doing so, he would become a national hero in rejuvenating the Chinese nation. And we should note that he is due to complete his second term next year, and he's expected to stay in power for life. So he needs something to, build the legitimacy, especially amid a series of crises in China, say the power crisis as well as the economic slowdown.
All right, Joyce, thank you. DW's Joyce Lee reporting from Taipei.